The article explores themes of death, spirituality, and the afterlife through a deeply personal lens. The author reflects on their journey from embracing Buddhist practices to becoming agnostic, detailing how they have grappled with fear of the unknown and desires for a peaceful end. They share anecdotes about meditating at temples, contemplating reincarnation, and even planning for their body's fate after death, whether it be donating organs or scattering ashes in sacred places. The narrative is laced with humor and existential angst, as the author questions whether they would rather die with the echoes of pop songs in their head or achieve a blank mind through spiritual practices. Here is my take. This piece is a poignant meditation on mortality, blending whimsy with introspection. The author's willingness to laugh at their own fears, like dreading Paulina Rubio lyrics as their last thoughts, adds a human touch to the universal dread of death. What's striking is how this reflects a broader cultural shift, from traditional religious beliefs to secular, individualistic approaches to dying. It's a reminder that death is not just a personal journey but also a societal one, where we increasingly seek control over our final moments and legacy. The author's agnostic stance feels like a rebellion against the unknown, a refusal to find comfort in divine explanations, and that, perhaps, is the ultimate existential act.
The article provides a detailed guide for individuals in Russia on how to go through bankruptcy proceedings. It outlines two main types, judicial and extrajudicial, explaining each step from assessing finances to managing assets and settling debts. The process involves evaluating financial status, selecting the appropriate bankruptcy type, gathering necessary documents, submitting applications, awaiting court decisions, working with a financial manager, handling assets, resolving debts, and returning to normal life. The article emphasizes seeking professional help, maintaining honesty, understanding rights, and staying positive. Here is my take. The guide offers a clear roadmap for those drowning in debt, empowering individuals to take control of their financial future. While it's a bold move with lasting effects on credit history, the process is presented as a viable path to recovery. The inclusion of both judicial and extrajudicial options caters to varying complexities, ensuring no one is left without an exit strategy. This transparency reflects Russia's evolving approach to personal finance, acknowledging that bankruptcy isn't just a last resort but a tool for rebuilding.
Klebo shared a heartfelt reflection on his limited FaceTime with his partner during the Olympics. He revealed that they only connected once during the event, during a brief walk last night. Klebo expressed his eagerness for the Olympics to conclude so he can spend more quality time with his partner, highlighting the challenges of balancing personal relationships during high-pressure events. Here is my take. Klebo's comment sheds light on the human side of the Olympics, a reminder that even amidst the glory and competition, there's a personal cost. His longing for connection is relatable, underscoring how major events often demand sacrifices from those behind the scenes too. It's a poignant moment, showing that love and partnership are as much a part of these athletes' journeys as the medals themselves.
A statement has been released regarding account restrictions imposed by an online platform for violating commenting guidelines. Users who have been blocked may face temporary or permanent restrictions, with durations ranging from 12 hours to a maximum of 48 hours or indefinitely. Those affected are encouraged to submit an appeal form if they disagree with the blocking decision. The announcement emphasizes adherence to community standards but does not provide further details on specific violations or the appeals process. Here is my take. This move raises questions about transparency and user rights in digital spaces. While platforms must enforce rules, the lack of clear communication about the blocking criteria leaves users in the dark. The appeal form is a step in the right direction, but without clarity on why accounts were suspended, it feels more like a PR exercise than genuine accountability. In an era where online presence is crucial, arbitrary blocks risk alienating communities and eroding trust. Platforms need to balance moderation with empathy, and maybe a dash of transparency, to avoid turning users into casualties of their own policies.
4 people have been killed in a road accident involving a Toyota and a Mazda in the Orenburg region on February 21. Regional prosecutors reported the collision, resulting in 4 fatalities. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of this tragic incident. Here is my take. This heartbreaking accident highlights the urgent need for improved road safety measures. While investigations are necessary, they must be followed by proactive steps to prevent such tragedies. The recurring issue of traffic accidents underscores the importance of better infrastructure, stricter enforcement, and greater driver accountability to ensure safer roads for all.
In recent developments, users have been informed that their accounts have been temporarily or permanently blocked for violating commenting guidelines on a digital platform. The block duration varies between 12 hours and 48 hours, or it could be indefinite. Affected users are provided with an option to appeal the decision by filling out a specific form if they disagree with the penalty. This action appears to be part of the platform's efforts to enforce stricter content moderation policies. Here is my take. This move raises intriguing questions about the balance between content regulation and user freedom in the digital age. While platforms must maintain order, such stringent measures could inadvertently push users toward alternative spaces or even offline interactions. The decision to block accounts for extended periods or indefinitely feels like a double-edged sword. It may curb harmful behavior but risks stifling free expression and fostering resentment among users. As online communities grow increasingly polarized, the implementation of these policies will be crucial in determining whether they enhance or detract from the overall user experience.
As Ramadan began on February 17, 2026, attention focused on Cristiano Ronaldo, who last year attempted fasting for 2 days to understand its significance. This year, it remains unclear if he will repeat the feat. Ronaldo's strict diet of 6 meals daily, totaling 3,200 calories, poses challenges for a professional athlete, but many Muslim players, including Salah and Benzema, observe fasting as a religious duty. Ronaldo's participation last year demonstrated his integration into Saudi culture and respect for teammates. Here is my take. Cristiano Ronaldo's attempt to fast during Ramadan last year was more than just a cultural gesture, it was a bold move to bridge divides between worlds. Imagine a football icon, known for his intensity on the field, enduring 2 days without food or drink. It speaks volumes about his ability to step outside his comfort zone and connect with others on a deeper level. This year, with milder weather, one can only wonder if Ronaldo will take it further, fasting as solidarity or simply offering support. Whatever he decides, the mere fact that he considers such an act reflects how far sports diplomacy has come in our globalized world. Ramadan is not just about abstaining from food, it's about discipline, empathy, and unity, a lesson even the fittest athletes can learn from.
In a landmark decision for Microsoft's gaming division, Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox, announced his retirement after an illustrious 38-year career with the company. Known for revitalizing Xbox and introducing transformative initiatives like Xbox Game Pass, Spencer will step down on February 23, 2026, but remain in an advisory role during the transition. His successor, Asha Sharma, a veteran in AI and emerging technologies, will lead Microsoft Gaming. Sharma emphasized preserving the human creativity at the heart of gaming while integrating AI into the experience. The announcement also saw unexpected departures, including Xbox head Sarah Bond, and new leadership appointments as Microsoft navigates economic challenges and embraces innovation. Here is my take. This is a fascinating chapter in gaming history. Phil Spencer's departure marks the end of an era. His legacy is undeniable, but so is the industry's evolution. Asha Sharma, with her AI expertise, represents the future, yet her reassurance about preserving creativity feels like a public relations masterstroke. Microsoft seems to be betting on new blood to balance artistry and technology, a bold move as Xbox celebrates its 25th anniversary. While Spencer's exit is bittersweet, the arrival of Sharma signals that gaming's next chapter will be shaped by AI, innovation, and a fresh perspective. The industry may never look back the same way again.
With signs of improving relations between France and Algeria, French mosques have welcomed Algerian imams to lead Tarawih prayers during Ramadan, despite a 2024 French government decision to halt the reception of foreign imams. Shemseddine Hafiz, Grand Imam of Paris Great Mosque, announced that around 100 Algerian imams were invited to lead prayers, citing a lack of qualified local imams capable of leading the lengthy Quranic recitations required for Tarawih. The move has sparked political debates in France over foreign influence and the role of Islam of France, with critics questioning the absence of oversight or discussion on potential external meddling. Here is my take. The decision to welcome Algerian imams into French mosques during Ramadan is a fascinating dance between religious necessity and political delicacy. While Paris claims this arrangement is purely spiritual, it's hard not to see the irony, using religion as a diplomatic tool to bridge tensions with Algeria. The fact that France is bending its own rules signals just how much it needs Algeria's goodwill, not just on immigration or security, but also on this subtle yet significant cultural front. It's a reminder that in Europe, even sacred spaces are battlegrounds of identity and power.
In East Cairo's 5th Assembly District, tensions escalated after a factory owner attacked a security guard and another resident at a local complex. The incident was sparked by the factory owner's dissatisfaction with the guard's performance and the resident's intervention. The security guard sustained minor injuries, including scratches and bruises, while the second resident was verbally abused. Legal procedures led to the factory owner's arrest, who admitted to the assault, citing grievances over the guard's duty and the resident's interference. Social media reacted strongly, with the hashtag #SecurityGuard trending nationwide. Public opinion largely favored the guard, with calls for him not to compromise and even offers of rewards if he pursued charges. Here is my take. This incident isn't just about a security guard or a factory owner, it's a mirror reflecting Egypt's deeply ingrained power dynamics. The fact that a businessman like Naguib Sawiris called attention to the guard's fear of losing his job is telling. Fear, not courage, is what keeps many workers silent. The viral outrage on social media shows how digital platforms can amplify marginalized voices, turning local disputes into national debates. But it also raises questions. Are we risking a digital trial by public opinion that could overshadow due process? The Guard's story isn't just about justice, it's about whether our society values laborers enough to protect them without fear of retribution.
100. Timing. Here is my take. Relations PR. Repeat example CHNG. Conventional track. Erto.
In 2025, Shaanxi's provincial county-level economy is set to grow by 5.5% or more, with leading industries achieving an output exceeding 1.5 trillion yuan. Notably, 2 counties will add over 200 billion yuan in new economic total, while 29 counties, including Xinjiang and Yangxian parks, are expected to reach this milestone. Shaanxi's county domains account for approximately 80% of the province's land area, 55% of its permanent population, and nearly half of its total economic output. Since the 14th Five-Year Plan, Shaanxi has prioritized developing county-level economies as a strategic tool to bridge urban-rural, regional, and income gaps. As the province steps into the opening year of the 15th Five-Year Plan, efforts will focus on optimizing 3 regional layouts to promote rural-urban integration. Here is my take: Shaanxi's focus on county-level economies is a bold move, signaling a shift away from traditional top-down development models. By prioritizing green industries and ecological sustainability, the province is not only addressing urban-rural disparities but also carving out a unique niche in the national economy. The emphasis on organic farming, renewable energy, and innovative manufacturing like unmanned aerial systems demonstrates a forward-thinking approach that could serve as a model for other regions. What's striking is how Shaanxi is turning its ecological challenges into economic opportunities. Counties like Yangxian and Xi'an are proving that green can indeed be translated into gold, not just through industrial innovation but also by fostering a deeper connection with nature.
On February 21, the Yantai Maritime Bureau announced that interprovincial passenger ships from Yantai, Shandong to Dalian, Liaoning will stop sailing at 3 p.m. due to cold fronts and strong winds. The suspension is expected to last until morning of February 22 when wind conditions improve. A yellow warning for high sea risks was issued earlier by the Yantai City Sea Rescue Center, with maximum wind speeds reaching level 7 to 8 in the area. In response, the Yantai Maritime Bureau activated a level 2 response, deploying 2 rescue ships and 2 helicopters for emergencies. The Yantai-Dalian route is crucial, transporting over 4 million passengers annually, including many during the Spring Festival. While this disruption may inconvenience holiday travelers, it reflects the Bureau's commitment to safety. Here is my take: this suspension highlights the unpredictable nature of winter weather and its impact on critical transportation links like the Yantai-Dalian route. While safety is paramount, the timing could not be worse for holiday travelers relying on this vital connection between East China and Northeast China. It's a reminder that even in modern times, nature still holds the power to disrupt plans. However, kudos to the Yantai Maritime Bureau for their proactive measures, activating rescue teams and issuing timely warnings. For those affected, checking ship schedules and making alternative arrangements is key. And if the worst happens, remember, 12395 is always just a call away for maritime emergencies. Safe travels, everyone.
On February 21, the Chinese research vessel, Snow Dragon, departed from Antarctica's Ross Sea, marking the end of the summer phase of China's 42nd Antarctic expedition. The ship bid farewell to 69 members of the Qinling Station team, who returned home, while 18 wintering crew remained at the station to begin their tasks. Qinling Station, established on February 7, is China's 5th research station and the largest single-building facility in Antarctica, capable of hosting 80 researchers. The station has completed all experimental setups and entered operational mode. Before leaving, the Snow Dragon ship assisted South Korea by transporting 2 members from Jiangbogo Station. The vessel will now head to Australia before proceeding to Zhongshan Station for further missions. Here is my take: the successful transition at Qinling Station underscores China's growing influence in Antarctic research. Amidst extreme conditions, the crew demonstrated remarkable resilience and professionalism. The establishment of Qinling Station fills a critical gap in China's exploration of the Ross Sea region, positioning the country as a key player in polar science. While it's natural to focus on the challenges, it's equally important to celebrate the achievements. This mission not only advances scientific knowledge but also reinforces international collaboration, as evidenced by the assistance provided to South Korea. With such endeavors, China continues to assert its leadership in the global race for Antarctic resources and research excellence.
On February 17, 2026, Nanchang City hosted a spectacular Spring Festival fireworks display titled Guangzhou Rejoices, Horses Leap into the New Year. The event showcased a unique combination of fireworks set against buildings and riverboats, creating a stunning firing landscape. Organized to entertain both locals and tourists, the display provided a vibrant visual feast for all who attended. Photographers from Xinhua News Agency, including Wan Xiang, captured the magical moments, with drone footage adding an aerial perspective to the celebration. Here is my take: the Spring Festival fireworks display in Nanchang City was not just a colorful spectacle, it was a statement. By blending traditional fireworks with modern architecture and water-based elements, organizers delivered a bold vision of cultural fusion and innovation. It's events like these that remind us why celebrating our heritage matters. They bring people together, inspire awe, and leave lasting memories. But let's not forget the logistical magic behind the scenes. Without meticulous planning and coordination, such grandeur would fizzle out faster than a single firework. Here's to hoping this year's display sets the standard for future celebrations, and may the horses always leap into a brighter new year.
China's Jinggangshan region, historic revolutionary base, has seen remarkable development through sustained technological innovation supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology, MOST. Over 37 years, the MOST's Jiangxi Technology Assistance Team has focused on leveraging technology to transform agriculture, industry, and rural areas. From optimizing peach cultivation in Huangtao orchards to developing lighter LED screens for local companies like Xiuhua Intelligence Manufacturing, these efforts have boosted economic growth, creating new opportunities for farmers and businesses. Collaborative projects with universities, such as the Food and Health Industry Research Institute, have further strengthened innovation capacity. Here is my take. Jinggangshan's transformation is a masterclass in how technology can revitalize rural areas, economically, socially, and culturally. By bridging academia, industry, and local expertise, the MOST has not just delivered projects but rewritten the narrative of what's possible in a revolutionary old district. The success stories, from peach farmers to tech CEOs, are proof that innovation is the ultimate equalizer. However, this isn't just about gadgets, it's about reimagining identities and possibilities. Jinggangshan is showing that prosperity isn't about abandoning tradition but enhancing it with modern tools. This approach could be a blueprint for other regions striving to balance heritage and progress.
The budget negotiations between the Catalan government, Generalitat, and Esquerra Republicana, ERC, have stalled, with ERC's leader Oriol Junqueras insisting that the Socialist Party, PSOE, must make gestures regarding the transfer of income tax on personal income, IRPF, collection to Catalonia. Despite a failed meeting between Junqueras and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez last Friday, ERC remains open to negotiating supplementary credits to alleviate the financial strain on the Catalan government, which is operating under an extended 2023 budget. Junqueras emphasized that while ERC appreciates President Salvador Ila's commitment to prior agreements, the lack of progress on fiscal sovereignty has left the necessary conditions for budget negotiations unmet. Here's my take. The standoff over Catalonia's budget reveals a delicate dance of political leverage and brinkmanship. Junqueras' demand for gestures on IRPF collection feels less like a pragmatic solution and more like a calculated play to assert ERC's influence, and by extension, Catalonia's autonomy, within the Spanish political arena. While ERC's conciliatory tone hints at a desire to avoid outright confrontation, their ultimatum underscores the growing tension between central and regional governments. The question is whether this is a strategic move to gain more fiscal control or a potential precursor to deeper instability in Catalonia's governance. For now, both sides seem willing to play the waiting game, but the longer they delay, the greater the risk of unsettling public services and the patience of voters.
The U.S. Supreme Court has struck down President Donald Trump's tariffs on imports from China and other countries, ruling that the president exceeded his authority by invoking a 1977 emergency law, IEEPA, without congressional approval. The court's decision came after Trump had characterized the tariffs as a matter of life and death. Experts warn that this ruling could create significant uncertainty for businesses and global trade relations. While Trump has announced new tariffs under a different legal framework, Congress must approve them within 5 months. The decision marks a significant blow to Trump's economic agenda and highlights growing tensions between the executive branch and Congress over trade policy. Here is my take. The Supreme Court's ruling is a sharp rebuke to President Trump's unilateral use of tariffs as a political tool. By striking down these Liberation Day tariffs, the court has sent a clear message that no president can operate above the law or Congress. This decision not only undermines Trump's protectionist agenda but also raises critical questions about the future of U.S. trade policy. With businesses already grappling with uncertainty and global partners reorganizing their trade relations, the long-term implications of this ruling could reshape international economics in ways we're only beginning to understand. The tariff wall may still stand, but its cracks are becoming increasingly visible.
The People's Party, PP, of Castile and Leon released a campaign video featuring Alfonso Fernández Mañueco with a blue nut prop, sparking derision on social media for its outdated appearance. The video, published on February 14, aimed to promote the slogan "Less noise and more nuts," but instead drew criticism. 3 days later, PP aired a rebuttal titled "More Nuts," mocking the original as from the 80s. However, this second video garnered significantly fewer views. Experts criticized PP for failing to adapt to modern digital communication, contrasting it with Vox's success in using emotional and viral content. The incident highlights the challenges traditional parties face in engaging with digital audiences effectively. Here's my take. The PP's campaign video fiasco serves as a stark reminder of the perils of clinging to outdated strategies in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. By attempting to resurrect an 80s style, they not only failed to convey their message but also handed critics a goldmine for mockery. The rebuttal, while acknowledging this, did little to salvage their image. In contrast, Vox's ability to harness emotional and timely content underscores the importance of adaptability in modern political communication. PP's misstep may inadvertently draw attention, but it risks alienating younger, tech-savvy voters who demand innovation and relevance. The lesson here is clear: in the digital age, political communication must evolve or face irrelevance.
A 2.5-year-old boy from Naples, Domenico, who underwent a heart transplant last December, has passed away due to irreversible clinical deterioration. His death occurred on Saturday morning after he suffered cardiac and respiratory arrest following a palliative care plan agreed upon by his family and medical team. The child's condition rapidly declined despite the ECMO machine keeping him alive. The incident has reignited legal scrutiny, as 6 healthcare professionals involved in his care now face potential charges of involuntary manslaughter. The investigation also extends to the donor organ retrieval process at San Maurizio Hospital in Bolzano, where dry ice was used, potentially damaging the heart. Here is my take: this tragic loss underscores a profound ethical dilemma in modern medicine: when does intervention become overreach? Domenico's story is a gut-wrenching reminder that even with advanced technology and skilled professionals, outcomes are not always within our control. The use of dry ice, a decision now under intense scrutiny, raises questions about the chain of responsibility in organ retrieval. While the legal implications loom large, this case should also serve as a moment for reflection: how do we balance the limits of medical science with the human desire to save lives? The answers will shape not just this case, but future decisions at the intersection of medicine and morality.